My child, before fear had a name in your mouth, I knew the place where it would try to enter. I saw the moment your confidence was shaken, the conversation that left you silent, the bill that made your stomach tighten, the diagnosis that made the room feel smaller, the absence that made you wonder if I had stepped away. You thought fear arrived because you were weak, but fear often arrives where a promise is being formed. It does not shout at empty ground. It presses against foundations that carry purpose. I am not asking you to pretend the storm is not real. I am not asking you to call pain beautiful before I have touched it. I am asking you to bring the whole weight of it to me. Bring me the questions you were afraid to pray. Bring me the disappointment you dressed up as maturity. Bring me the exhaustion behind your obedience. I am not offended by your trembling. I am the Father who gathers trembling things and teaches them to stand. The foundation I call you to trust is not your perfect understanding. It is not your ability to explain the season, predict the outcome, or keep every piece of your life from moving. My foundation is my character. I am faithful when your emotions change. I am steady when your circumstances shift. I am present when the road narrows. I am still restoring even when the evidence looks hidden beneath the soil. If you build your peace on what you can control, every wind will threaten you. If you build your peace on who I am, the wind may be felt, but it will not be your master. Remember the house built upon the rock. The rain came to both houses. The wind struck both walls. The flood rose against both doors. I never said the faithful house would never hear thunder. I said the foundation would hold. This is where fear begins to lose its grip, not because every difficulty disappears, but because you stop measuring my love by the weather. A hard season is not proof that I have abandoned you. Sometimes it is the very place where your roots learn to reach deeper than your filings. You have been asking why the opposition feels so large. Listen carefully. The size of the pressure does not mean the absence of my hand. There are moments when the valley feels wider because I am teaching you to walk with a steadier heart. There are moments when the enemy magnifies the shadow because he wants you to forget the light behind it. But I have not called you to bow to shadows. I have called you to seek me today in this breath, in this room, with the faith you have, not the faith you wish you had. I saw you in the hidden season when nobody knew how much effort it took to keep going. I saw you answer kindly while grief sat in your throat. I saw you show up when you wanted to disappear. I saw you pray short prayers because long ones felt impossible. Do not despise those small acts of trust. In my kingdom, a whispered yes can weigh more than a public performance. The seed does not look powerful when it enters the ground, but I know what I placed inside it. Fear tells you that waiting is empty. I tell you that waiting can be holy ground. Beneath the surface, I restore what hurry would damage. I strengthen what applause would expose too soon. I pull your identity away from outcomes so it can rest in covenant. You wanted a quick answer because the ache was sharp, and I understand. But I am not only preparing relief for you. I am preparing you to carry restoration without losing tenderness, wisdom, or humility. Look at the wilderness. It appears barren to those who only value harvest, but I have spoken to my people in dry places for generations. In the wilderness I gave manna, direction, water from stone, and a pillar of fire when night covered the path. I did not waste the desert. I used it to teach dependence. So when your life feels like a landscape with more questions than fruit, do not assume nothing is growing. I may be forming endurance where fear expected collapse. I may be clearing idols from the soil so peace can take root. Your fear has been using old evidence. It brings up the time you were disappointed and says it will happen again. It brings up the door that closed and says every door will close. It brings up the person who left and says love cannot be trusted. But fear is a poor prophet. It only knows how to repeat wounds. I speak from the end and the beginning. I see the whole road. I see the restoration already moving toward you, not as a fantasy that denies consequence, but as my redemptive hand working through what the enemy tried to steal. I will not teach you courage by shaming your fear. I will teach you courage by standing with you inside it. Courage is not the absence of a shaking voice. Courage is the decision to keep seeking me while your voice shakes. When you place one honest prayer before me, fear loses territory. When you open my word instead of rehearsing the accusation, fear loses language. When you take the next right step instead of surrendering to paralysis, fear learns that it no longer governs your obedience. There is a foundation stone I want you to touch today. It is the truth that you are mine. Not because you performed well this week. Not because you never doubted. Not because your life looks polished from the outside. You are mine because I chose you, formed you, called you, and held you when you did not know how to hold yourself. Fear can accuse your process, but it cannot rewrite my covenant. It can point to your scars, but it cannot cancel what my mercy has named restored. I know the private battles that have made you tired. The message you almost sent in anger. The habit you thought you had conquered. The grief that visits at ordinary hours. The responsibility that feels too heavy for one set of shoulders. My child, I do not look at these places with disgust. I look at them with the patience of a father rebuilding a house room by room. Restoration is not me pretending damage never happened. Restoration is me entering the damaged place and making it habitable again. Do you remember Joel's promise that I restore the years the locust has eaten? I did not speak that as poetry only. I spoke it to reveal my nature. I know how to redeem what was consumed, how to bring dignity back after shame, how to teach joy to breathe again after long sorrow. But restoration does not always arrive as the old thing returning in the old form. Sometimes I restore by giving you a stronger heart, a clearer voice, a wiser circle, a quieter mind, and a foundation that no longer depends on people who were never meant to carry your worth. There are some losses you keep calling proof that you are forgotten. Let me rename them. Some were protection. Some were pruning. Some were redirection. Some were consequences I am teaching you through with mercy, not condemnation. I do not waste even the parts of your story that you would erase. Place them in my hands. I can turn regret into wisdom, delay into depth, weakness into dependence, and mourning into a compassion that will one day help someone else breathe again. Now I want you to picture the place where fear usually finds you. Maybe it is the edge of your bed at night, the glow of the phone in your hand, the silence after another unanswered message, the stack of responsibilities waiting for morning. Say it clearly. Now see my hand there. Not distant. Not symbolic only. Present. Steady. Restorative. I am not standing outside your life giving instructions from far away. I am with you in the room where your thoughts have been loudest. I am teaching your soul to settle under my care. Take one deep breath and let your shoulders lower. You do not have to solve the whole future tonight. Psych me today. Trust me today. Obey the light I give today. The enemy wants to trap you in imagined tomorrows because tomorrow feels too large to carry. I give daily bread. I give mercy for this morning. I give strength for the step in front of you. When you receive today's grace, fear loses the weapon of overwhelming you with a future I never asked you to hold alone. There is a difference between caution and fear. Caution listens for wisdom. Fear listens for doom. Caution helps you make faithful decisions. Fear tries to freeze the decision before faith can move. I am not calling you into recklessness. I am calling you into steadiness. Make the appointment. Have the honest conversation. Forgive without returning to what harmed you. Set the boundary without hatred. Start again without announcing it to everyone. These small acts become stones in the foundation, and each one says that fear no longer directs your life. When you feel opposition rising, do not answer it first with panic. Come to me. Let my presence become your first room, not your last resort. There I will show you what belongs to you and what does not. Some burdens are assignments. Some are distractions. Some are invitations to prayer. Some are weights you picked up because you confused responsibility with control. I will teach you the difference. My spirit does not only comfort you. My spirit gives strategy, timing, restraint, and courage. You have asked for a sign that I am still working. Look at the fact that your heart still longs for me. Look at the tears that did not turn into bitterness. Look at the small hunger for restoration rising again, even after disappointment. That hunger is not random. It is my call inside you. The part of you that still reaches for me is evidence that my grace has been reaching for you first. You are not crawling back to a reluctant father. You are responding to the one who has already come near. I am building something in you that fear cannot maintain control over. A quieter confidence. A cleaner dependence. A deeper trust. A courage that does not need to be loud to be real. You will still have moments when your heart races, but you will learn to bring that racing heart to my foundation. You will still face decisions with consequences, but you will not face them orphaned. You will still walk through valleys, but you will begin to recognize my voice echoing there, calling you chosen, held, guided, and being restored. Now speak back to me with the faith you have. Father, I trust your foundation. Fear will not lead me today. Say it slowly if you can. Let the words become a line in the ground. You are not declaring that life will be painless. You are declaring that fear will not be your shepherd. You are choosing my presence over panic, my covenant over accusation, my restoration over despair. Every time you return to that declaration, you place your feet again on rock. And now receive my blessing. I cover your mind with peace that grows through trust. I strengthen your hands for the work that is truly yours. I loosen the grip of dread where it is wrapped around your thoughts. I restore courage in the places where disappointment made you cautious about hope. I teach you to wait without surrendering to despair, to act without being driven by panic, and to rest without guilt. I am the Father who restores, and I am not finished with you. Before you leave this moment, make a simple commitment. Seek me today before fear writes the story. Seek me in the morning before the noise gathers. Seek me in the decision before pressure speaks too loudly. Seek me in the waiting before you call delay abandonment. If this word has found the hidden place in you, right as your act of faith, I trust the Father's foundation. Let that be your witness, not to impress others, but to remind your own soul where it stands. My child, the storm is not your foundation. Fear is not your future. I am near, and I am restoring you one faithful step at a time.